Steel reinforcement. Many traditional materials such as the early days we are using the bamboos and the natural fibers have been tried as a reinforcement in older times, but steel is found to be the most appropriate uh, compared to the other the reinforcement other the material building material in the form of a reinforcement we are using. So it is the most suitable reinforcing material in RCC because they have some reasons they are below given. The first one is steel is very strong in compression, tension, shear and torsion. It can develop good bond with concrete, so we are using this steel bars in a RCC. Steel is ductile in behavior. More ductility means more elongation of steel before failure. This results in sufficient warning time before failure. So it will give the warning so before it get failure. The steel bars can be cut, bent, lifted and welded easily with commonly available tools and machines. Steel has a longer life. Steel is easily available, as you know that. Its coefficient of expansion is nearly same as for concrete. However, steel has a few disadvantages which are already we discussed. The biggest disadvantage of steel reinforcement is rusting. That is one of the major problem disadvantage. If concrete is porous or if cover to the reinforcement is not sufficient, steel get rusted and loses strength. That is definitely that is the one problem, main drawback of this steel bars if you are using in a construction work. Steel loses its strength at a very high rate of temperature. Then next one is the classification of steel bars in India. These following types of bars are available and they are using for different construction work. One is the mild steel, that is a plain bar. So cold worked, the mild steel bars or hot rolled mild steel bars are available in the market. Similarly, the second one is the high yield strength deformed bar, that is what we call that HYST bars. That is the torch steel. So in that cold worked deformed bars, there are two grades of in this cold worked deformed bars are available in the market. One is grade Fe415 and grade Fe500. These are the higher grade of steel nowadays we are using in the construction work. Then second one is hot rolled deformed bars, and the third one is the hard drawn steel wire fabric wire mesh. See, these wires are generally used for the pre-stressed concrete, so that is very useful in the pre-stressed concrete manufacturing different items. So fourth one is rolled steel members, the angles, T sections, the joist, what you call that channels, etc. So this is a classification of the steel bars. So one more that nowadays the TMT bars also we are using, that is called thermomechanical tested bars, that is called TMT bars, and the corrosion resistant steel bars, that is called CRS deformed bars, latest in the use. So nowadays these are the two bars are latest used for the various construction work in India. Normally Fe250, Fe415 and Fe500 are used in the reinforcement concrete work. Mild steel Fe250 and more ductility and is preferred for the structures in earthquake zones or where there are the possibility of vibrations, impact, blast, etc. So these are the areas. Generally this TMT as well as CRS bars are mostly widely used. So the next one is the mild steel bars, are also known as Fe250, because the yield strength of this steel is around 250 Newton per mm square for the mild steel bars. Then the second one is high yield strength deform bars. They are also very quite HYST bars look like. They are very high percentage of carbon as compared to the mild steel, and when it is twisted deformed, these bars are 50% of high yield strength than the plain bars are obtained. A deformed bars has the corrugations or rips on the surface of the bars to increase the bond and to prevent the slipping of the bars in concrete. That is a major thing. These HYST bars are performed as a reinforcement in RCC uh, over the plain mild steel due to some following reasons in behind. That is, the HYST bars have the high yield strength higher than that of the plain mild steel bar. That is one of the reason. The HYST bars have the better bond with the concrete due to the corrugations of or the rips on the surface of the bars. And finally, the cost of HYST bars are approximately same as the mild steel bars. So the use of HYST bars are led to overall economy, as the amount of steel required is less due to its higher strength. That is one of the major reason behind that. And the third one is steel wire fabric. So wire fabric is a fabric made by welding or it's called weaving steel wire in the form of the mesh, which is also called as steel wire mesh. This mesh is usually used as a reinforcement in slabs, the shells, the pavements and road construction. The fourth one is the structural steel. That is very important. Sometimes for very heavily loaded elements such as the foundation and the column rolled sections, like the rolled steel joist or the joints or the channels or the angles are embedded in concrete and used as a reinforcement. The fifth one is the CRS and TMT bar, the recent using this such type of bars. Use of the corrosion resistance steel CRS and the thermomechanical related TMT bar ribs is now being increasingly adopted means of enhancing the durability to increasing the durability of reinforcement concrete. In CRS bars, the corrosion resistance elements such as the what we call it copper or the phosphorus and the chromiums are introduced in the manufacturing process. During that manufacturing process, the oxide layers formed on the surface of rib bar, especially due to the phosphorus, is found to be relatively dense, because with minimum the porous which contain and act as a inhibitor to the corrosion. So thermomechanical the treatment TMT is advancement over the traditional cold twisting technology, is manufacturing of high strength deform bars, and the stage wise heat the treatment process results a combination of strong outer layer of the temperature manometers and the ductility in the core of the fertile pilstet, giving the bar combinations. So the TMT bars are now being manufactured to yield very high percentage of the produce a high strength. So it can be used nowadays in the construction work.